Alright, let's go. How did I found it? Wasn't there another exit? Junpei and his companions ran out of the casino and into a large open room. Oh, right, the other exit, like, locked itself, and that's the way we came in, right? I think. I'm gonna tell myself yes so I don't go crazy. A room, in fact, they had been in once before. There was little to surprise them there. They already knew what their next step had to be. The iron gate still stood in place, locked tight, blocking the stairway. Let's unblock it with our cock. In the center of the gate was the keyhole, engraved with the woman symbol, the Fee-Man. This time, however, Junpei had the Venus key in his pocket. Wasting no time, he pulled it out and shoved it in the keyhole. Jam it right in there. If it doesn't fit, just twitch it a little. I like this woman-on-woman action, if you know what I mean. He turned it. With the distinctive sound of metal on metal, he felt the lock click open. Alright, let's get this thing open. I wonder where we're gonna go from here. Are we gonna meet back up with everyone else? Is there gonna be something more? Is Ace gonna stay left behind? Is Snake gonna, like, disappear? Is there gonna be anything different? I don't know. Let's see. No problem, let me help with this one. And if there's something different, then why? What's different about this place that makes Snake not disappear than in the other one? Anyways, Junpei grabbed the handle on the left side, and Seven took the handle on the right. On Junpei's signal, they both pushed, and the gate creaked open. It's not like Clover was in on Snake's disappearance, so it can't be that. So I was thinking it's possible maybe he told Clover about something while he's here, and then he disappeared, but like, well, no, Clover would have known about it, and she clearly didn't. I really don't think she was lying. It sounds as though you have opened it. That's because we have. We should be able to reach C-Deck now, I imagine. Snake, are you gonna be alright? I mean, the stairs. Please do not do yourself the embarrassment of underestimating me. I would be unlikely to trip even if I were running backwards. I'd be very likely to trip if I was running backwards. Good to hear, let's move. At Seven's words, they leapt onto the stairs and charged quickly down them. Snake doing it backwards. In no time at all, they found themselves on C-Deck. Come on, Snake, you're just showing off now. Junpei ran down the stairs a little further in hopes of checking on the deck below. When he reached the water, he called back up to Snake and Seven. Just what I thought. D-Deck is completely underwater. Just like the bottom of the central staircase. The surface of the water below them was flat like a mirror. That had not changed too greatly since they'd last seen it was a great relief. Junpei quickly retraced his steps and headed back to C-Deck. In front of the stairs were a pair of elevators. They appeared to be identical to the ones from the upper floor. Between them, attached to the wall, was another card reader. The Lotus symbol! And next to that was another strange symbol. Hey, check it out. It's a symbol for love. Yes! What? See? It's got the woman symbol and then it's got devil horns, right? Oh, I love it! Lotus isn't around to wring my neck this time. Yeah, I see it. No two ways about it. That's a pretty good one, kid. Seven tousled Junpei's hair in what he likely thought to be a friendly manner. Junpei feared his neck might break, even though it was clear Seven had kept his strength in check. I love it. Thankfully, Snake interrupted. After Junpei's observation, he'd gone over to examine the card reader. This is a Mercury symbol. The marks you mistook for horns are a stylized version of the wings and staff of Hermes. Interesting. There's no reason to hide it, because I don't know what it means. In fact, now I think I know a little more of what it means for some reason. In Preview B, the little bits I saw of it, like, you know, the one where it's like, unfortunately, you're wrong, I'm Santa, or whatever that was. What the fuck? Like, the little bit after that I did see was, I saw, like, like wings and staff. I'm like, what the fuck's that? And that's when I stopped watching, when I saw wings and staff, and I'm like, what? I cut that out of the last video, but that part, well, not the last video, the part 26. But I did see that bit, so I was like, wait, what? Wings and staff? What is that? Okay, apparently it has something to do with maybe Lotus or something, or I don't know. I like to see as little of these previews as I can, because they seem to, if not spoil, then at least foreshadow, and sometimes foreshadow heavily, and I don't like that. Wings and a staff, huh? So she beats you with the staff until you die and go to heaven? Sounds like Lotus, alright. You're laughing a little too hard there. Seven shook Junpei's head even more vigorously, and the younger man began to feel as though his brain was being jostled about inside of the skull. You know, I don't think it really symbolizes Lotus that much until we get to the part where she's willing to leave Ace behind, but he began to feel rather ill. Well, that and where she didn't care much about, you know, Santa being trapped in, but, Santa and the others being trapped in. Santa, who cares about Santa, but... Unless we can activate this device, I doubt the elevator will function. In other words, we gotta find a key card with a Mercury symbol on it. So I would assume... And that doesn't happen until the second set of doors. They decided to leave the elevators alone for the time being and headed back to the stairs. To the left was another hallway. There were a great many doors lining both sides of the hallway. They seemed to stretch on forever, and all three men suddenly felt very small. Aw, shit, we're not gonna have enough time to check all of these, are we? Maybe we can come back here later. Let's check the other side. They turned around and went back the way they'd come. To the right of the stairs, another hallway stretched out, reaching deep into the bowels of the ship. After a few moments of moving briskly down the hallway, they emerged into an area roughly the same size and shape of the one at the top of the stairs. On the left side of the room were 4 French doors. You sure they're not Spanish, or Italian, or German, or Jewish? Wait, is Jewish a thing, or is that a religion? I think it's both. I don't know. Well, let's open them up. Junpei nodded and grabbed the one closest to him. He gave it a small tug and felt it move. It was unlocked. Thrilled to have found another unlocked door, he threw it open. Success! Unlocked doors, the best kind. Junpei didn't know what to make of what he saw. How about there are more numbered doors? Dun dun dun! I got through this section a lot quicker than I got through the door 4 section. That took me, what, 6 parts? And that's not counting getting up to this. Maybe I was just slow back then, not used to the puzzles, or maybe those were just longer puzzles, I don't know. He simply stood, unable to speak. I think they were somewhat longer puzzles, though, actually. At least a little bit longer. Seven's eyes opened wide, and his mouth gaped. After a few long moments, Seven at last managed to speak. Hey, what is this place? Massive room stretched out in front of them. More a cavern than a room. Its vastness was oppressive, and it bore down on Seven and Junpei. It's a sick bay. Again! It was not empty, however. The entire room was filled with lines upon lines of beds. They were simple things, like little more than pipe and thin mattresses. Is this a hospital? He had at last been able to put a name to the harsh scent that pervaded the room. Perverted the room. The room was full of the clean smell of antiseptic solution. In the center of the room were shelves stacked with medicine and a number of medical devices, the function of which Junpei did not know, and no one cares about, because numbered doors. More importantly, however, on the back wall of the room were 4 doors. 3 of them were emblazoned with large single-digit numbers made with thick red paint. The door on the left was labeled 3. The second door from the left had no number, but the third had been given a 7. The door on the right bore an 8. So I'm not sure if the combinations are going to work out the same, but if they do, I'll probably end up going through door 8. And the reason is, because, last time, because 7 and 8 is what goes together to make the root number of 6 if we drop Ace off, if Snake leaves again. The 3 door will probably go in my 3rd playthrough, unless I'm able to go into it in the same playthrough. I'm probably going to end up doing 3 playthroughs of this, and then when I do all 3 and get through all the doors, if there's still like more playthroughs to be done, which there probably will be because there's 6 total, I'll probably look up what order I'm supposed to go into the doors to get the final ending. I'll make sure it's spoil-free guide if I have to get to that point, but that's probably what I'll do. There can be no doubt they were numbered doors. It did strike Junpei as strange, however, that the door between 3 and 7 should be blank. What, he wondered, could it mean? Let's take a look at these doors. Yeah, good idea. The 3 of them threaded their way through the beds toward the back of the room. Upon reaching them, they proceeded to investigate each door in turn, but to no avail. Yup, locked, just like I thought. Naturally. After all, there are rules to the nonary game, and to allow these doors to open easily would violate those rules. Plus, there's things not attached to them, correct? They can't be attached to them. Unless we can authenticate ourselves with the red, the numbered doors will... Whoa, check this out! Oh, so they're still unactive, right? This time around, they're not active this time, and which would reveal that one of us stole it or something, or I don't know. Or one of the people in the other team, at least. Maybe not necessarily in our team this time, like maybe Ace or I don't know. Suddenly 7 spoke up, interrupting Snake. Look at the red. There's nothing on it. Huh? Don't you remember the red back of the main staircase? There wasn't anyone in it. It said vacant on the little screen, remember? Oh yeah, you're right. But this one... there's nothing. Right? You think it's broken? Only one way to find out. Yeah. You really need to feel the need to all of you do that, really. Just 1 or 2 would be fine. Junpei and the others put their hands in the panel, but nothing happened. The red refused to change. They tried pulling the lever and still nothing. As they soon discovered, it wasn't only the red on door 8 that seemed to be malfunctioning. Ones on door 7 and 3 as well. None of them worked. What, they wondered, did it mean? They gotta be broken. Man, that bastard. I didn't think Zero was the kind of guy who'd screw around with something like this. Whoa. Zero's been prepared for Zero's been prepared for everything so far. And you're saying he's gonna make a mistake now? Well, that's the only thing I can think of. This thing ain't working at all, unless it's part of the puzzle, fetch quest, that we never really got to see who fetched it, but yeah. Unless, of course, this is all Zero's plan, and the plan is to get us separated and then... well, okay, if Snake is Zero, and the plan was just to get us all separated, and then fix the things, and then fake his death, but let Clover know he faked his... I don't fucking know. After a time, he lowered his hands and spoke. It seems as if some of the internal hardware has been removed. Internal hardware? That is what I said. Take a look at the underside of the red, if you please. Junpei obliged and bent over to look at the underside of the device. A long, thin slit ran along the bottom of it. As he looked harder, he realized it was made of a slot, more of a slot than a slit, and that it was clearly meant to accommodate some manner of electronical device. The other 2 reds were the same. Something had clearly been removed from all 3 of them. I get it. So the reds aren't working because somebody pulled out their guts. So I assume. But why? And who? I mean, it doesn't really make sense. I have no idea. Probably Zero. Because he's got to be the only one who could have gotten here before us, right? I mean, the other team gets here after us, at least if it's the same, time of events type thing. Unless I'm just slow and slow the team down, I don't know. Or maybe Ace is fast and speeds the team up, who knows. But, yeah, if we did get here first, then it's gotta be Zero who's doing this on purpose. Why on earth would I know something like that? Just then, they heard the sound of a door opening, so we're a little slower. The other team had gotten to examining the other rooms by now. The 3 of them turned and saw... Akane! Oh no, Junpei thought it's... June! Oh, good, he almost said Akane. That would have been bad. She stopped short, surprised to see them, and was very nearly bowled over by the rest of her companions, who were coming through the door behind her. Ace, Santa, Clover, and Lotus all poured out of the door, each of them as surprised as the last to see Junpei, Snake, and Seven. Junpei and Seven were, for the moment, at a loss for words. What are you guys doing? Why are you... Yep. We all met up with each other because we both did the things and we intersected our pathways. After a moment of silence and surprise, everyone suddenly began to talk, desperate to exchange information. This is bad, though. If the red isn't working, we can't keep going. What about that big hallway? Maybe there's somewhere in there we might be able to go. No, there's nothing there. The five of us had a... Are you joking? You got here first? Again? Am I just slow as fuck? Are you just fast? Like, it's just... Okay, so let's say we always get here last. That means both Ace or Clover could be behind it. I think that makes the most likely candidate Ace. If it's anyone aside from Zero, or maybe even if Ace is Zero, then I'd say Ace is the most likely candidate. There were a great many rooms, although none of them appeared to have held patients for quite some time. Patients? You mean all those doors are for hospital rooms? Yes. Apparently they have a number of individual rooms in addition to this large central room. There was a door down at the end of the hallway too, but it was locked. It had one of those solar system mark things on it. It was the Jupiter symbol. Jupiter. I wonder what it means. Confusion seemed to be the consensus. What, that's it? Well, have you got any proof? Proof? Proof that this ship is really the Gigantic. Well, the ship's got stuff that the Titanic's got that's like the Titanic and a hospital ship. So I just figured... Oh, for goodness. Don't tell me that's your only reason. No, I got more. Like? Well, I mean... Seven looked around desperately, doing anything to avoid meeting Lotus's piercing stare. The wings and staff of Hermes, indeed. Whatever that means. He scratched his head for a moment, then gave up. Finally, he opened his mouth. I don't know. Lotus sighed and shook her head. I guess your memory isn't back yet, is it? No, I'm sorry. Then, almost as if to save Seven from further embarrassment, this time it's saving Seven and not saving me. A bell began to ring from far away, because I already know about the memory loss this time. Well, wait a minute! Are you telling me we have to search all of these rooms? Well, you already checked some of them out before you came here, right? We each checked a single room, so 5 rooms in total. Alright then, that's 5 rooms we don't have to search. Split up, won't be that bad. If each of us can do 6 rooms apiece, we'll have the other 48 rooms cleared in no time. There are 48 other rooms? Lotus did not seem excited by the prospect. Seven fidgeted nervously before responding. Maybe? After some discussion, the 8 of them decided which rooms to begin with and what order they would go. I'm excited now. So, is Snake still going to turn out missing, or did I change that fate for some reason, or what? I don't know. We still haven't really gotten to know much about him, so, like, Junpei was chosen to search the room on the starboard side, moving from fore to aft. They also determined when they would return to report their findings, the next time the clock sounded the time. When it did, they would meet back in the large central room full of beds. If, during their search, any one of them were to locate the missing components, they were to yell for the others. If this strategy failed, they'd return to discuss their options later. And is the situation the same, or is it different, or what's going on? I'm really curious. He jogged through the entrance to the large hospital room to find 6 of the others already there. Oh my gosh, is this going to be the... Wait, 6 of the others. Yeah, is this going to be the exact same? Ace, Santa, Clover, June, Seven, and Lotus. Damn it, Snake! What are you doing? And the same mystery continues. Well, Junpei wondered why she was hesitating. The others looked as confused as June, but kept their mouths shut. What the hell? What's up with you guys? They all knew something he didn't, and Junpei wasn't about to leave things that way. Now I'm curious, did Clover get the 4-leaf clover? Does Santa still have it, or what's going on with that? But anyway. Oh, wait, what? Didn't want to do that. Finally, Lotus frowned and spoke. I actually just found out about that. For a while, I didn't think there was a way to go back in the text, but there actually is. Well, that's the thing. We don't know. You don't know? Well, whatever he did or didn't do. He's pretty damn late. Hell's he up to? Maybe he's lost. Okay, gonna throw a guess out there. We searched the whole ship, essentially, except for behind door 2. And, heh, fitting, Snake, door 2. I'm guessing that we can find Snake if we go behind door 2. But, that probably won't be till next playthrough. In front of the stairway that led to B-Deck, they decided to split up. Let's split up and look for clues. Shaggy and Velma, you go that way. Fred and Scooby, you go that way. Scrappy, because no one likes you, you go drown in the water. They quickly assigned search areas and went their separate ways. I'm sorry, I'm pandering to the bases. I actually like Scrappy. Soon, only 2 of them were left. Those 2 were Junpei and June, who had been a few steps behind the others. Alright, we should go too. Yes, let's go. But where should we start? I don't know. I don't remember where we started last time. Let's try and do an different order if I can remember right. Let's see. Oh, okay. The game's gonna tell me which way we started with last time. Thank you, game. I don't freaking know. Hallway with all the rooms? We still don't know what 7 left the earlier place open for. Maybe Snake went there? We still don't know, like, there was a safe in there. So many unanswered questions. Even more than when we started this playthrough. Let's go hall with all the rooms. We should go check out that hallway with all the rooms. Okay, let's go, Jumpy. They turned and ran down the hallway to their left. Ahead of them, farther down the hallway, they spotted Ace. Hey! Snake! Where are you? Answer me if you're there. Junpei paused. What do you want to do? Run to Ace? Fine, let's just do all the options we can. Let Ace handle it. Why don't we just leave this area to Ace? We can go somewhere else. I don't mind. But where? Well, let's see. Now it opens up again. Let's go to the first class cabin. This is where Clover is, I believe, if everything's the same. Let's go check out the first class cabin. Okay. I'm coming with you. They turned and headed toward B-Deck. Might as well try as many options as we can. Outside the first class cabin, they found Clover. Let's do 100% on this bitch. She was standing in front of the wall. She was staring at a meaningless point on the wall, her eyes blank. What should Junpei do? I so want to talk to her, but at the same time, I want to do all the options I can, so let's just try and branch as much as we can. Leave her alone. Something told Junpei that Clover probably wasn't in much of a mood to talk. That's true. She got angry at us. That's all she did was get angry at us the first time we talked to her anyway, so maybe this is for the best. He leaned over and whispered quietly to June. Maybe we should leave her alone. Yes, I think you're right. They turned and walked quietly down the stairs. Clover had driven home the misery of their situation, but Junpei told himself that getting depressed would get him nowhere but depressed. For Clover's sake, they had to find Snake and fast. He did his best to push away the misery and depression and forced a smile. So where do you think we should go next? I guess we're going to the casino. How about the casino? I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. They turned and headed off down the hallway to their right at a jog. And is Lotus here again? Before they knew it, they were there. So was Lotus. She was leaning against the wall, examining her nails. Of course she was. Hey, what do you think you're doing? She glanced up at him, unimpressed. Isn't it obvious? I'm looking for Snake. Duh. Just not seeing it. Really? Maybe you need to look harder. Junpei didn't think that was the problem. Oh, by the way, I've got a proposal for you two. Care to hear it? Refuse and leave. Nah, it's alright. Let's go, June. Junpei tugged June's arm and led her quickly back toward the stairs. I don't want to deal with the lotus symbol, the wings and arms and whatever. That's right, we're being rude. See ya. Was that okay? You don't think we should have listened to her? No, I've got a pretty good idea what her proposal would have been. We should be looking for Snake. Well, where should we go next? Nowhere. Let's go nowhere. I guess we're going back to the large hospital room. Why don't we go back to the big hospital room? Sure. Let's go. They took off at a run down the stairs. On their way to the large hospital room, Junpei and June noticed Santa standing next to the number 3 door. Junpei paused. What should Junpei do? Walk away without saying anything. Junpei turned around and walked away from Santa. There was nothing he'd learned from talking to him anyway. Junpei took June and left the large hospital room. They looked everywhere they could think of, but Snake was nowhere to be seen. Why don't we decide on one person to sacrifice? Sacrifice? Well, perhaps that's a bit of a harsh word, but yes. You've all figured out by now, haven't you? Can't all make it through those doors. If we split into 2 teams of 4 and 3 people respectively, 3 people will be left behind. If we split into 2 teams of 5 and 2 people left behind. But if we split into 2 groups of 3 and leave one person out, then only 1 person will be left behind. Even my 3 of the 2 teams of 4 and 3. Not sure. Do all the options we can. Going for 100%, maybe. Junpei wasn't quite sure that was true. Ugh. Wait a minute. 2 people get left behind if we split into 5 and 2. And 1 person is left behind if we split into 3, 3, and 1. I got that part. You can't go through the numbered doors with any less than 3, but if we split into 4 and 3, then why do 3 people get left behind? Just run the numbers. Let's say we go through the door 7 with 1, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that works. Who's left over? That would be 3, 7, 8. What's the digital root for that? 3 plus 7 plus 8 equals 18, so 1 and 8 is 9. Exactly. But door 9 isn't here, right? That means 3, 7, 8 won't be going anywhere. That was just an example, of course. There are a lot of different combinations, but the result will always be the same. It doesn't matter which 4 it is, the 3 that are left over can't go through any of the doors. Go ahead and calculate it if you have the time. You'll see. Darn you. Anyway, that's how it is. Now, if we can get back to my proposal, we only have to sacrifice 1 person if we split into 3, 3, and 1. He lifted Aesop off the floor and laid him on the bed he'd been leaning against. When Junpei turned around, Lotus gave him a look of pity. Well, we really don't have a choice now. We can't let his sacrifice go to waste. Right? She wasn't feeling any remorse, Junpei was sure of that. Still, he had no grounds upon which to oppose her. Felt wrong, but he had to agree. Then suddenly Santa spoke. Yeah, but we're not done choosing yet, are we? Huh? What do you mean? Well, we haven't decided who's going in what door. Ah, yes, that's true. Well, enough of this screwing around. Let's decide. You first, Lotus. Which door do you want? I want door number 8. It's the same number as my bracelet number. Got it. You're 8. You're next 7. Which one do you want? I got this little maniacal tinge to his voice now. I just noticed it myself. I wasn't even thinking about it, but it's there now. Just something I thought of now, and I think I'm gonna be recording this part, because we're essentially at the part where we're choosing our doors, so the splitting part. But, Snake's kind of a jerk. Not only does he leave unannounced, probably somewhere that no one else is thinking of getting to, even without Clover, but, also, him and, Clover, and possibly Santa, maybe? I don't know. I've been in the game before. They've known about this stuff, and yet they didn't bring it up. Clover was probably not bringing it up because Snake said that was the best idea. But Snake, what the hell? Why is that the best idea? Seriously. Why are you not a team player, brother? What's wrong? I'll take 7. I can't get along with that old lady. What? What did you just say? Her face distorted by rage, Lois took a step towards 7. He threw up his hands and made a face like a child caught with his hands in the cookie jar. Ugh! You're gonna get it next time. He shot at him a glare that would have melted steel, then turned and stalked off. Alright, who's next? Santa's gaze moved across the 3 people left. Finally, he stopped on Junpei. Junpei, which door do you want? At last. Junpei's mind was already made up. This time, I'm gonna take door 8. Let's not break the mold. If I go into door 3, I mess everything up. I probably will, though, at some point, but not this time around. I think I'm gonna go with door 8. Okay, 8 it is. Yeah. Alright then, that means June's gotta go through 7. What? Why? What? Santa grimaced and muttered angrily to himself, but finally began to explain. The 6 of us are gonna keep going without leaving anyone behind. There's only 3 ways we can do it. You get it now? As Santa finished, June looked over at Junpei, tears welling up the corner of her eyes. Oh no, I also just noticed Santa the Creeper. Maybe he is developing a crush on June. Because, no matter what happens, he's with her in the first set of doors, and if you go through door 7 or 8 at least, he's with her in the second set of doors, so it's like, ugh. You're saying we aren't going to see each other again for a long time? And also, he chose to go through door number 6 as his number, which is the same number as June's bracelet, which means he probably thought June would want to go through June's number 6 doors. Like, he's a creeper, probably. Like, some kind of stalker, even. He probably has a huge mega crush on June or something. Obsessed with her, even. Junpei felt just as June did. He wanted to be at her side through whatever trials they were preparing to face. But he knew if they were to survive, he had to swallow his feelings. In order for the 6 of them to move forward, he and June had to be separated. He looked at June. He was scared to lose her, but he swallowed, still as resolved, and did his best to smile. Hey, come on, you're making it sound like we're never going to see each other again. We got split up, but only for a while. It's just like when we went into the 4 and 5 doors, remember? We got split up then too, but we all met back up. I bet 7 and 8 are just like that. You mean they're connected somewhere? Yeah, probably. Hopefully. Probably. She didn't sound very hopeful. It was 7 that interjected. I'm sure they're gonna connect somewhere. Why? What makes you think so? If they don't connect, neither team can go through door 9. In other words, the game would end right here. Zill's been on top of his shit so far. I don't think he'd blow it now. I don't think he's blow his load all over us right yet. I'm damn sure that son of a bitch wants to have his fun as long as possible. He's not gonna end this game until we get through the 9 door. June said nothing. The tears were gone, but her eyes were still sad as they looked at Junpei. He met them. With what reassurance he could manage, laid his hands gently on her shoulder. Everything's gonna be okay. Be okay, baby. We're gonna see each other again. I promise. June bit her lip and gave him an almost imperceptible nod. Yes. Promise? Her voice was barely above a whisper. Santa's voice shattered the moment. What a cock blocker. You cock stalker. Or vagina stalker. Oh, you guys are done, right? He stretched and continued. Screw you, man. In an alternate playthrough, you're a complete dickwad. Anyway, that's pretty much it. And you're probably just a mega stalker. Clover and I will both go into separate groups. I figure I'll take 7, and Clover can take 8. So I'm with Clover again. This time with Clover and Lotus. Ooh, the ladies. Well, except for June. Any problems with that, Clover? Clover looked away and was silent for a moment. This time, though, we don't have the Clover to give Clover. Whatever. It was more of a dismissal than an agreement, but Santa didn't seem to care. Alright, ready to go then. Let's move. Go, go, Power Rangers! Santa's command, the group split and headed for their respective doors. Man, that was a while doing a bunch of recap. Probably cut a bunch of it out. Santa, 7, and June walked towards door 7, while Clover, Lotus, and Junpei headed for door 8.